I know my call me on the cell phone, something that one. No, I know nothing.
Oh my God.
You used to call me on the telephone. You used to call me on the telephone.
There's a call me one, right? Yeah. All right, that's
You
right.
made yourself sound like an old.
Yeah,
dad.
I am.
I know that one. Call me on my mobile. I know a handful of like the popular ones.
So I'm gonna play 2 songs.
Yep.
One of them is actually his.
Right.
Okay.
Got it. Sounds like Drake to me.
Yeah, I agree.
That's Drake.
I don't want to guess until I hear the next one.
This is all guys doing, man, you can't plan it. But if the devil
This is Drake.
Is it the same song?
No.
Oh. I would think this is the AI. The voice sounds
I think
weird.
so too. That's my guess. But at the same time, as soon as it starts playing, you're like, that's Drake.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, I'm only 29, had some patience with us. I still love it, but I used to love
Yeah, I'm going with this one being AI.
Me too.
All right. At least, see, we're always in the green. Now, are we always right? I'm not sure.
We think the first one's real Drake and the second one's AI.
Yes.
So completely wrong.
Oh my God.
Really?
Drake didn't touch the first one at all.
Really? Wow.
Wow.
Huh, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
All right, so I still want to understand what's going on here with the AI songs. A person on a computer writing lyrics, making a beat, and then having AI sing those or rap those lyrics or whatever in the tone and voice of a famous artist. And the tone and voice of that artist was taken or culled from, their actual,
Body of
song,
work,
a body
yeah.
of work, right? And the AI's figured out whatever, all the parts of a voice are, right? The tone, pace, tempo, whatever those things are, put it all together, and then it can sing like that artist.
Yeah.
And fooled me twice.
A caveat to this conversation, we know nothing about music and we know nothing about
We're
trademark
I'm
infringement.
the least qualified person to talk about
like
this.
tone and beats and whatever.
Right, totally unqualified.
It's like, say, somebody who writes their own lyrics and then has, another artist like sing it. What if that artist was like, this is totally against like my,
Yes.
brand, what I believe in, like maybe saying things that are inappropriate or something
sure.
like that,
Yeah.
and then others believe that that's him. And could that hurt the sale of their real?
Right. Like a deep fake video, right? Where you've got a president, it doesn't matter, saying something where, because the AI is taking a real video, making their mouth move differently, changing the audio. It's a deep fake video, right? But there you don't have, a copyright issue because it's, just somebody giving a speech or something like that as opposed to music. This becomes a whole cottage industry of people on the computer. I don't want to call them artists, but they are artists. They're making music. They're just using sort of someone else's likeness to do it, I guess. That becomes a whole cottage industry. And then, then the fake Kanye starts eating into the real Kanye's profit.
How is the fake Kanye earning money off of this, though?
I mean, distribution, getting plays on, Spotify. And, you could play at Lollapalooza. It could be a DJ set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be anything, really.
Yeah, and like how would that affect the real artist? Like if somebody's like, oh, I could buy this song on Spotify for half the amount that,
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Spotify, I guess,
Yeah.
is a bad example because it's a subscription, but
Yes, I get you.
Yeah.
Buy it on, iTunes or whatever, right? iTunes.
on the iPod.
Yeah, the Napster. But this is sort of the Napster problem, I think. That was distribution, right? That's where instead of going and buying a CD, right, people were downloading the MP3 online, right? That was when it was at the time, right? And that was taking away from the royalties and the profits from the labels and the artists because people were going to getting it for free.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same problem, except it's not a distribution plays a role, but it's sort of a reproduction of the artist, which I think
Yeah.
is more personal. I mean, yeah. Well, why do you listen to Kanye or Drake or anybody else? I mean, most of the time, I mean, of course, yes, you like the music, right? But like, you know about the artist and what they're doing, who they're married to, and what controversy they have. Like,
Right.
there's a personality there too.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wonder, you remove that, right? Because you're like, oh, this is just AI. Is it less appealing than like to the normal consumer? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, like what if just the AI created everything, like the words, the
Right.
music and stuff, and put it out there? Would you listen to it and just be like, yeah, like I like this, this appeals to me? Or would you kind of be like, I don't know, a robot created all
Right.
of this music?
So my wife loves this Walker Hayes guy,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
She knows like his whole family. She's creepy about it, right? She knows like who they
Sounded
are.
good.
Yeah, no, you gotta roll this one. She knows like everything, like because she's reading about him and watching his YouTube videos and his other content. That's more than just. Of course, she likes the music, right? But all the
Right.
other content he's got, I don't know, Instagram and TikTok and YouTube channels
Yeah.
and Facebook, whatever else, right? But like he's a brand, he's a personality more than just the music that he puts out. And that's true obviously for a lot of I think all musicians, right? And so I just think that's an interesting angle to this.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I went to go see Luke Combs a couple of weeks ago at Soldier Field, and my mom had been listening to him a lot, like in anticipation of us going to the concert. Then on the way home, she's like, he just seems like such a normal, nice guy. Like she's like, I did not expect that. Like he's like, a little redneck. That's kind of his shtick.
Right.
And the flannel, he's like chubby. He's drinking.
Right.
And then he changes into a Bears like uniform and stuff,
Yep.
which like everyone from Chicago love, but it's like my mom liked him more, just kind of
Yes.
seeing him and like getting that vibe from him,
Right.
you know?
Right. And you're not going to get that out of AI until they're doing holograms, which that's probably next, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I just think that's a really interesting angle in terms of the legal aspect of this. I mean, obviously the artists have some sort of a claim, right?
But against whom?
Right, that's the
Yeah.
question, right?
The like IT nerd sitting at in the
Right.
basement of his mom's house?
Right.
Like,
Yes, I think for sure, right? There'd be a claim against that person, but that's a problem because how do you even identify that? Like, is there a
Right.
digital fingerprint? It gets distributed enough,
your
right?
IP address?
Yeah, I mean,
don't know.
that comes too hard to track. So here, so there's a guy sitting on his computer. He makes this music. Absolutely, issue number one is is he anonymous, right? And it gets distributed, and his or her fingerprint is long gone, and there's nobody to sue then, right? If they could identify the person, especially if they're making money off it, absolutely, they're going to be the defendant in a lawsuit, right? From a big name label, I'm sure.
Right. But if you are the artist, you probably want somebody with much deeper pockets than that.
Right, exactly right. And so then you go to the AI platform, the software, whatever, right? But I think that's a really, really tough argument because like ChatGPT, for example, OpenAI, who's ChatGPT, if they have this functionality, they're just going to say, "Whoa, we're just like Facebook does. We're just the platform, right? Whatever it's used for, I don't control. Just like Facebook says, "Whoa, I'm not responsible
Right.
for what some guy publishes.
Right.
We're just the platform."
Yeah.
Right?
Could you analogize? Is that the right word?
Yes.
It's like say a car. You create a car like for good to take you from A to B. The car manufacturer shouldn't be responsible for somebody using it as a weapon or
Yes.
somebody drinking and driving in that car or
Right.
something.
Now, if the AI platform, right, exactly, it's a matter of degree. If the AI platform has preloaded, here, click this button and use Kanye's voice,
Right.
click this button, use Drake's voice, well, then they're enabling it, and you can't make that argument anymore, right? Or that platform can't make the argument is simply anymore. But for the most part, it's open AI. It's they're gonna be able to. It's in other words, it's open technology, right? The right person with the right skills is going to be able to adapt that AI to do whatever
Right.
they need
Yeah,
it to
and
do.
could the manufacturer have predicted that?
Right.
Should they be actively trying to prevent that?
Right.
Like so many issues come up. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, there's so many things I think we probably can't even like wrap our heads around that this AI could be used for,
Right.
right? Good, bad, otherwise.
For sure. All right, I'm going to use OpenAI right now. I really am to say what lawsuit is it? Let's keep it simple. When someone uses a Disney character without a license to do so. Using a Disney character without a license typically results in a copyright infringement.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Disney characters are protected by copyright law, which gives the copyright holder exclusive rights to use, display, distribute the character. So there's your answer, right? And that's the same here as the music, right? All the music is copyrighted. You can copyright works of art, music, characters, and books, right? You get the idea.
Trademark, right?
Well, trademark's a little different. Trademark is going to be a more branding, right? A
Yeah.
business name, a business logo, a business slogan. I guess it doesn't have to be business, but you get the idea, right? That's how I think of trademarks
Mhm.
as what are the identifiable things of a business or organization, the logo, the slogan, the name. Copyright being a work of art, which
Okay.
Disney certainly is, right? Or a book or a movie or music. And that's what
Or
this
like
is,
the
right?
Mickey Mouse drawing
Yep.
is like, yeah,
That's
a work of
copyright.
art and it's copyrighted.
Yep.
Right.
And I mean, I could go draw Mickey Mouse, right? But if and I can do that, but as soon as I start distributing it and trying to profit off it, well, then now I'm using that likeness, right?
Right.
So I think it's the same thing with the music, right? Is I can sit in my bedroom and create we're branding these people making music as like creepy, and they're probably very talented people, but they can make it and they can keep it on their computer and they can probably consume it for personal use and even play it at a party, right? But as soon as you start distributing it outside of that, I think now you're infringing upon that artist's copyrights.
Are you familiar with that Ed Sheeran and Marvin Gaye
Yeah.
lawsuit? So
Mhm.
what was Marvin Gaye alleging?
So his estate was suing Ed Sheeran for some song, not because of the lyrics. That's different than this AI conversation we've been having. It's because of the beat and the chords that were used.
Mm-hmm.
And these things come up. Like, have you ever heard the Vanilla Ice one, where he's like, no, mine's like do no 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 no, and he's
Yeah.
like no, but the other one is like do no 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 no. Like what? So these things come up, right, a lot. But the Ed Sheeran one is unique because he fought it like for a long time. I don't know how long, but he definitely fought that case tooth and nail. And I remember he said some things like, if I lose this, I'm done making music. Like I'm done. So he made the stakes pretty high, and then he won just recently, right?
Yeah, very recently, like last week, I think.
Right. And I think the issue that it came down to is, can you copyright a certain set of notes in a certain order, right? Because there is an upper limit, right? There's only so many notes you can play
Right.
on a guitar,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know the actual notes, but they both had D, E, and F, right, or whatever
Yeah.
on repeat, like most, that was what the issue came down to. Does Marvin Gaye actually own that chord? You guys on YouTube are going to eat me alive because this is not my specialty. Oh, I know my call me on the cell phone, something that one. But that's my understanding of it. And Ed Sheeran won that. In other words, it's great for all artists,
Right.
especially new artists, right? Meaning that you don't have to be as worried about, just because you're going to use D, E, and F, and Marvin Gaye used D, E, and F back in, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That now you're going to be sued.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting too, like you hear so much music, and then as an artist, it's like, are you almost accidentally,
Right.
That's
really a good point.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can always come up with new music when you layer on all of the different parts of
Right.
a song, right? But when you break it down to its finer elements, right? The chord, the notes that are used, the chord, even the words. Like, can you imagine? Like, I said, "Get that money" in my song.
Get that money, get that money. I'ma get that money soon as I get that money.
And now you're using that like I'm suing you for copyright.
Right.
Well, wait a minute. That's
Yeah.
just a small snippet of
Right.
something, right? And so, I think you got to look at it as the bigger picture, and
right.
that's why
Yeah,
Ed
it's like
Sheeran
the
won.
chords and then the pattern in which they're
Yeah.
used.
I saw something where Ed Sheeran had actually testified on the stand, which is interesting, with his guitar and played a bunch of songs with that same pattern.
Oh, wow.
That, you know, he's like, here, look, you're gonna sue me for it. You
Yeah,
sue
so-
everybody.
yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? And I think
He has a much deeper knowledge of music than we do.
Yeah,
Like
stop.
DF and the
Yeah,
same
stop.
pattern.
Right.
Give me money when I'm in need. You give me money.
Not
way
at all.
more. I'm way more familiar with Kanye.
I know Gold Digger.
Okay.
That was before he married Kim K.
Someday we gon' set it off. Someday we gon' get this off.
This does not sound like him.
Don't you bet it off on a path of fentanyl. You might think
His
they
voice is, like,
wrote
higher
you
here.
off. They gon' have to roll me off.
Yeah, I don't know this.
Someday the drama be gone and they'll play this song.
I don't even know if I would guess this is Kanye if I didn't know.
Take all the shine.
I would. I am going with. I don't know this song,
I don't either.
and so that's why I'm gonna guess AI.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River, younger than the mountains, growing like
I want to change my first answer.
No, see, I'm gonna stick with. This is Kanye's voice singing. Now it's you know, that's a outtake or something I'm going with. But his actual voice, I'm going. This is Kanye. And the last
This sounds
one,
like a
kinda-
white country singer.
Well, right. I mean, I know the song. It's not Kanye's
No,
song.
yeah.
But I'm thinking, I'm analyzing the actual voice.
Yeah.
Could be totally. I probably am totally wrong.
So the first one was actually Kanye,
Okay.
and this was
This is just made up
Yeah.
shit. I mean, it was supposed to be Kanye's voice, right?
Yeah.
But what if you don't label it as Kanye's voice and people just assume it's Kanye's voice, right? And what if you're playing it in a style which is totally not Kanye's style, right? Is that now beyond that threshold of using Kanye's likeness?
Yeah.
Where everyone's like, well, sure, that sounds like Kanye, but of course that's not Kanye because he's singing a old country song, right? As opposed to rapping, right?
Yeah.
Is that now far enough away from what his core likeness is,
Mhm.
where now that lawsuit's not gonna stand up? I have no idea.
Yeah,
Nobody
like-
does, really.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
if you create the lyrics and then you have like the underlying music be like Ed Sheeran with Kanye's
Sure,
voice? Like,
sure.
is that,
A
you know?
mashup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and some better lawyers than us will figure that out someday.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be honest. We are criminal defense attorneys, and we are not experts in AI in the music industry. But I do think we had a good discussion. A lot of really, really interesting issues with major implications for the people involved. I mean, there's billions of dollars at stake here with this issue, just as it relates to the music industry, not to mention everything else that AI, is going to touch as it continues to develop. So the real conclusion that we have here is that there need to be some regulation, some guardrails put in place around AI and this technology generally, because I believe it's going to change our life for the future. And my hope is it changes it for the better, which it absolutely has the ability to do as long as it is approached in a thoughtful and smart manner. So let us know what you guys think. Absolutely, there are experts out there way better than us. Let us know what you think and tell us the stuff that we said right and the stuff that we said wrong. Take it easy on us.